What's up, everybody? My name is Galson Anthony, the best to ever do it. And I'm still in Kenya. Kenya is my second favorite country in all of Africa. Why the second favorite? Because I live in my favorite country right now, which is South Africa, right? So if I were born in Kenya, then Kenya would be my favorite. Fair enough? I think so. Today's guest, he's the one that gave me the name that I'm going to tell you, Matua, from a Kamba tribe. Now, I can tell you a lot about this man. He's an entrepreneur, a businessman, in fact, a man that is a real philanthropist. This man has done a lot for the community and so much more. His name is SamK. How you doing?
What up, bro?
What's happening?
Thank you for inviting me.
You know what? I think it's more like you inviting me because
True.
I'm around Joe City, you know?
Yeah, I'm hosting you.
You're
I'm
hosting
thanking
me.
you
Yeah.
for inviting me.
I like that. The humility.
No, but I love it. I love it, man.
Bro, firstly, why did you choose that I'm Matua?
First of all, that name, we discussed it. It was agreed in unison with the people we were with yesterday. The day before yesterday, yeah. But why? Because Mutuas have that look that you have. Except the eyes, you look like a Mutua.
So I look like a Matua.
100%.
Okay. Kambas are known for witchcraft. And that's the only thing you told me. What else they're known for? Because I can't just live with witchcraft.
Let me tell you, not only is it a good thing, but it's something I'm so jealous of. Kambas do not age. You put a Kamba of, say, 50 years next to any other tribe, 50 years.
Right.
The Kamba looks half this guy's age.
Word?
That's a fact. Find out, do your research. Kambas do not age.
I'm a Kamba. I'll accept that.
So you see, I gave you a good tribe.
And what does Matua mean?
Matua, I have no idea. If I was a Kamba, I would know.
Who here knows what Matua means? No? Nobody? Okay. All right. Thanks for the welcome. I really do appreciate it.
Are these for us?
Yeah, they're for us.
Oh,
they're not props. Let's eat them.
Oh, they're real, yeah?
Yeah.
Huh?
Imagine buying bricks as props. My welcome here with Kenya is my fourth time. It's been great with you. But I want to talk about when we first met, which was last year, right?
Yeah, early last year.
Early last year, January last year, actually. And from the time we met, we had a good relationship. But the first time we met wasn't very cool.
Very kind man.
I wasn't a kind man.
No.
Okay, what happened?
I understand you're being protective over your artist.
Right.
Which is allowed.
Yeah. Tell me how it was for you, because we were at the airport. You came in a S-Class Benz. You came to pick us up.
Samsung sent me to come pick you guys up. And when I arrived there, you guys were all happy, jolly. Zari was happy. When you got into the car, then suddenly there was a change of mood on your side. Because I think I probably also overstepped, because I was like, so when you guys settle in, do you guys want to go out? What do you guys like to do?
Right.
And you felt as if I was coming a bit too strong, right?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Who you, you know? I didn't know you SamK, and so I was like, yo, who are you?
You're like, bro, we don't do that.
Oh, that sounds like me. We don't do that here.
Exactly like you. Bro, that's what you did. That's what you said.
And then I saw your face. You were like, damn, this
I
guy's
held
a bit
it in.
heavy.
I held it in.
Yeah, I could see it. I'm like, damn, this guy's heavy. For what reason? Like, I'm hosting him, and he's already... I give you props for that, for being...
But I have dealt with many artists. I have a PA myself, and sometimes when I'm overwhelmed, he does the same thing. He's got to, put his elbow out.
Right.
To protect me. So I totally got it.
Right. And then ever since then, we had a good relationship. We actually got to meet Bahati, and I have a chat with him on his podcast about it. When I met him, I was even more rough with him.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, I was even more rough with him, and I had no idea who he was.
Guess what? Bahati is a Kamba.
He's a Kamba.
Yep.
All right.
Bahati is a Kamba. So you're good.
We're good, yeah. But I'll talk to him about that then, and we actually had to, sort it out like, yo, we good. But here you are. You've welcomed me, and I appreciate that. But there's a lot of things I want to talk about. You understand that G2G podcast is a deep podcast that we look into things. Now, for the most part, I've known nothing but good about you. Now, as a person that has become your friend and you have become mine, I have to not only, be biased, but to test our friendship and to also test you as a man. The idea here is to build and grow, not to shame and drop somebody down. So you ready?
Yeah, man.
Okay. Let's go through the normal stuff. Background. From a rich family?
That's what people assume.
Mm-hmm.
Wrong assumption.
Wrong assumption. So what,
Right
you're from
now,
the gutter?
right now we're comfortable. My dad is a hard worker, he's done his thing, and we're very comfortable. We live in a nice area. So right now we're good, but that's not how it began.
Okay.
Yeah, I was born and raised in Eastlands, Huruma Estate. You didn't know anything about that. But anyone who's watching from Kenya knows what I'm talking about. It was a very rough neighborhood. You know, thugs being beaten every other day, you know, being lynched outside our house, that kind of thing. Yeah.
If you grew up in such a wild environment, did you become a product of that? Like you became wild yourself?
I would say not, because at some point my dad got us out of the hood and we moved to where we currently live. But I was only 7 years old when that happened. So I was only in the rough neighborhood for
7 years, right? So when your dad moved you out, do you feel like in those first 7 years you thought that was the life, and then maybe going into a suburb or a better area, you brought a little bit of that rough person to the new neighborhood?
Well, what I would say is at that age, you don't even know it's a rough neighborhood because you don't know better. You know, that's what you're born into. It's only now years later is when I look at where I live in my current lifestyle and I realize, whoa, I got privileged to move from that. Yeah, but when we were moving, I had no idea.
You know, I've been asking around now. As your friend, it's my job to get to know who you were. And I got to learn that you were quite a rough child with your dad. You gave your dad headaches.
It was only for some time, maybe 2-3 years.
2-3 years is a long time. Now tell me about this teenage version of you. What did you do to your dad, and why was he always pissed off at you at that given time?
First of all, I was very cheeky. I was not very disciplined in terms of, following the rules and protocol and all that. I found myself in trouble a couple of times. I got suspended from school. I never got expelled, but I got suspended more than 3 times.
Give us detail. I mean, don't say I got suspended. No, just what did you do that got you to a place where it got you suspended?
So I found myself in high school, a school called Nairobi School. It's a national school. They take a lot of pride in it. Nairobi School, when you say national school, it means that kids from the entire region, the entire country, what national schools do, they try to spread their students' origins. So there's people from Far East,
right.
Yeah, everywhere. So we meet there, and you meet all kinds of characters, all kinds. So of course I clicked with some wrong ones. Let me call them wrong for now, and they catapulted my sneaky side of me.
Right.
Yeah. So
the 7-year-old version. Right.
Yeah. So we could sneak away from school just to go and buy chips. I don't know what you guys call chips in South Africa.
Chips.
Yeah. No, you think I'm talking about crisps? I'm talking about fries.
Yeah.
You call them chips.
Right. In South Africa they call them chips, and then in America they call them fries.
Yes. So yeah.
Unless of course you're talking about other chips that I don't know.
No,
that
talking
someone
about the chips.
skipped
You're talking
school
about
to go buy.
the ones that comes with the tomato sauce and sausage.
Legal chips.
Legal chips.
Okay, just
Very
checking.
legal.
Just checking.
Yeah, so we could do that kind of thing. We'd wake up at night with these friends of mine to break into other people's boxes just to steal their grab.
Wait. Other people's boxes. What does that mean?
We're in boarding school. So of course, at the time, boarding school, you had to go with like a metallic box. Yeah, so you lock your stuff in there. There's a little locker which you put your padlock. And then the thing is, there's this style called butterfly. Can you picture a box with the lock in front here? So what we would do, would step on the box and then lift the edges. It was called butterfly. Then the box will look like this.
Yes.
So that you can fit in your hand and,
grab whatever is there, right?
Yeah, grab whatever it is you think will benefit you at the time. Yeah, so I got caught in that, and I was kicked out of school.
Uh-huh.
I had to come back with my dad.
What did you get a whipping?
Oh, my dad was a whooper. Bro, my dad would chase me 200 meters.
You getting this whipping?
Yeah, and he's not wearing shoes. Because my dad was the kind of guy who just snaps. If he decides it's on, he's not going to put on his shoes and then look for the cane. Eats whatever is here. You see this bottle of Sorel?
Yeah.
He'd actually throw it at me. Throw anything.
Wow.
At us.
The stereotype of Kenyans worldwide is that you can't run away from a Kenyan. So your dad was there before you. He's going to catch you. 200 meters ain't a thing for him.
But I was a bit smarter than him because every time he chased me, I could run. You see how our gates are designed in Kenya. I don't know about South Africa. a gate where that opens up for a car to enter.
Yeah.
When the gate is closed, it's a smaller gate where you
I
pass.
see, yeah.
You can, just on foot. So I would run, open that little gate, then close it behind me. So my dad, with his rage, would come and hit it. Boom, boom. That got him mad times 2.
Yeah.
So it happened a couple of times and he just never learned. I don't know why.
Okay, so you ran. Okay, and then that given points, I'm guessing there's quite a few times you got yourself into trouble. When did the change happen that you stopped being a troublemaker?
Mm-hmm. Let me tell you one time. My dad tells my sister, first of all, we have 4 siblings in our home. I've got a sister and 2 brothers. Together, myself makes us 4. So my dad comes from home one time, comes from work, tells my sister to warm him chapatis.
What's chapatis?
You know what chapati is?
Yeah.
A chapati is it's this flat, round, flat, starchy food. Yeah, you eat, you can roll it and eat it with any stew.
I don't know chapatis, but when you say roll, I think something else completely different.
No, that's not roll there. So anyway, my dad tells my sister to warm for him some chapatis. I don't like my sister very much because we're always beefing. So I see my sister warming chapatis. Then she steps out of the kitchen. Guess what I did? I took the chapatis and hid them up there.
Okay.
So yeah. So my dad runs, my sister runs to my dad and says, "Imagine Kamau has hidden your chapatis."
Uh-huh.
My dad is like, what hell kind of a son is this? Why the hell would you hide my food?
Okay.
Yeah. So me, I'm thinking they're my sisters because she's making them. Kumbe, they're not. You go in. My dad called me, "Come out." Oka. Oka means come in Kikuyu. I stepped in to the room. He was like, "Did you hide my chapatis, yes or no?" I was like, "I thought they were boys." How does that even make it right? Why are you hiding the beneath the boys? He grabbed something we used to call blue band. Yeah, it's a margarine he put on bread. Yeah, he had this tea, his margarine, he was waiting for the chapatis. He grabbed the blue band and the tea, both of them at the same time.
And it flew all its way to
towards
you.
me. As usual, our 100-meter run.
Up out of here. Okay, then when did you stop being in trouble? Because the thing is, poor dad, you're putting him through stress.
Hey, no.
And when did you decide, you know what, I need to stop this life and, start cleaning up?
Well, really, I don't think you decide per se. I think it just grows in you. You just mature up.
Oh, it grows out of you, yeah.
Exactly, it grows out of him. You mature up, you start focusing on other things. And before you know it, you're now living a normal life.
I wouldn't say your life is normal because now it turned to a very, very comfortable one right now. So I want to hear the story of getting to a place where you bought the first franchise, or better yet, let's get to a place where you got to a place where you could afford to buy the first franchise, because obviously you have to had some sort of business experience to buy into a franchise. And that's something most people don't understand. You don't just walk in and buy one, irrespective of the capital. You have to have a business background. So give me that walk.
So my first franchise, you're talking about Samsung, right?
Right.
Yeah, my first franchise.
They're signing me a check. He said the name. Check.
What is that?
Because you said Samsung on the podcast. Check.
Oh, you're not supposed to?
I want my check.
Why? We didn't agree to that.
Doesn't matter. You said it on my podcast. Check.
What? There's no way. I'm not accepting that. I wasn't briefed on that.
No, just messing with you. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So this was in 2012. I had a small shop in a high-end mall called Regis Mall. And Samsung had just come into the country. They had just registered the name Galaxy globally. So what they're doing, they're now having this approach of the SES's, Samsung Experience Stores. And why they chose me is because my shop was located directly opposite a supermarket exit. So it was a very prime location. And I was calling myself Galaxy, coincidentally, which is still one of the company names I use till today. Yeah, so they came and they're like, there's this, what we're doing, there's a new idea we've come up with. We're building shops. We're going to call them SESs, and want to turn yours into one. I was like, how much are you paying me? Everybody knows Samsung, Korean rich guys. So I'm like, hey, it's my time to cash in. But no, we're not going to pay you up front. No, we don't do that. You're the one who's going to earn from the shop. You're going to earn 10 times over. I was like, how do I know that's true? How do I know, you don't use me? You don't use my shop to sell your products and you don't want to pay me? You know what? You try it 1 year. If it doesn't work, you convert it back. I'm like, cool. So at the time, the Samsung boss at the time was called Simon Karedi. He's still my friend till today. In fact, I talked to him probably an hour ago. This is in 2012. How many years ago?
Right. That is what, 13 years ago.
Yeah. We're still friends till today. And one show became 2, 2 became 3, 3 became 4. Now I think they're 10.
You got a couple of franchises. Now, I mean, through a couple of podcasts, it's gone through the story of, how you built Samsung from there and there. So I don't want to really go through that. I want to ask a little bit more technical questions or financial questions. Okay. You get there, you make some good money. When was the first time you turned over your first million or $1 million? If it's not $1 million, let's look at what a millionaire would be in Kenyan shillings. When was that moment you're like, wow, this bank account now looks good?
That I can't say it wasn't. It's never got into $1 million like at
one
once.
go. Yeah.
It comes with your turnover. You look at your turnover at the end of the month, you're like, okay, my turnover is growing. It's come from 500,000 Kenyan shillings. It's gone to 6 to what? It's gone to 20 million, 30 million, 40 million, 100 million. That's how it is. Because you'll never see the 100 million at one time in your account. Yeah.
And by the time you need the next one comes in or the next big check comes in for whatever reason, the other one is already gone. It's gone. But then when you look at your annual turnover, it could probably make those big numbers that you can.
That's the life of a businessman.
Yeah.
You never have money just sitting there waiting to make the account look good. No.
But then what was that number? Okay, let's put it this way. Give us what a turnover for 2012 looked like that year, and then give us 2017, 5 years later.
I'll say there's substantial growth. 2012. First of all, for me to find myself in that mall, I had been doing a few things right
beforehand.
Yes. And this is thanks to this same father of mine who kept chasing me.
Yeah. So the whippings worked.
Yeah, they did. They did very much so. So what happened is that when I cleared university, I was in a university called USIU. I don't think you know it. It stands for United States International University.
I've heard of it.
You heard of it? Yeah, so they've got a campus here in Nairobi. So when I cleared, finding a job in Kenya isn't that easy. Whether you're a graduate or not, whether you've got your master's or not, anything. So you always need ties, contacts, people, So we tried getting into banks, we tried getting into many other places, and it just didn't work for me. So what my dad did, he took me to Dubai because he was already in business. He was selling mobile phone accessories. At the time, they were big because phones had just come into the country. There's this big brand called Nokia. I don't know if you know Nokia.
Nokia.
Yeah.
Man,
Nokia was the biggest.
We're the same age, man.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm assuming you're younger than me. You see Mutua.
Yeah, but we're the same age, yeah?
Yeah. So Nokia accessories were moving very much. So, of course, my dad took advantage of that. He took me to Dubai. And this is very interesting because when he took me to Dubai, he introduced me to 2 suppliers. One was called Shaban. The other one was called Ali, SMT. Introduced me to them. Showed me the hotel where I'm going to stay because you usually go to Dubai, you do 3 or 4 days. And then went back to the airport and came to Kenya. Left me there.
Oh, he's like, yo, from here on out, you're on your own.
Sort yourself out. I'm like, but Dad, why do you have to go? So you just sit in the room, in the hotel, even if you don't do anything, and wait for me. It's only 3 days. He's like, he went back.
So it's no more whippings. He's teaching you the real life now.
Yes.
Now, you've made a couple of millions, so to put it. Now, there must be times where you've made a mistake financially and boom, you're like, the hell now. Give me those moments. What were those bad decisions?
Bad decisions for me begins with employing the wrong people. Yeah, you see, the people you employ, of course, characters are different. The people who come into your business trying to pretend they're here for the business and everything and to earn a salary, an honest salary and an honest living, but they're not. The people who come to steal. So as a business person, it's our work to keep blocking those loopholes, because their characters wake up in the morning just to come steal from you. Because they assume all these things you've got, you're given for free or you just like, they don't even care.
But I'm going to take a couple steps back. I'm not worried about them, of what they came to do your business. I want to know what you made as a bad decision that led you to get there. For example, in this instant, if I'm rewording it, is I made a bad decision of hiring A, B, and C.
Exactly.
And therefore I made a mistake. That is something on me. As opposed, thieves are thieves, and shame on them. But what I'm saying is it's your accountability to that. What was your bad decisions financially?
Probably hiring without due process, we never used to do any background checks. You just somebody comes and applies for a job, you go an opening, boom, enter. You don't even know this guy's character. You don't know what he's done in the past. Right now, we do a bit of, character searching and stuff. So I think that was a wrong move.
Now take me down the rabbit hole of, okay, so the person stole or people stole, and now you're here and you knocked financially. How did you recover from that? And what was it? What deficits were you in? Like, the reason why I'm asking that question is that I don't need you to vaguely run through the answers. I want you to take me through the journey of what it means to be SamK, the goods and the bads.
So what are you focusing on? The people, the thieves that they encountered, or
No,
any other?
the pain that you experienced from that bad decision financially. Where were you? So they stole $1 million, for example, and now you're $1 million down after you found out, and now you have to be late on school fees, or maybe a store had to close down, or something of that sort.
Got you. So let me tell you, you've seen on my WhatsApp status, I put down their appetite for risk. I'm a risk taker, and with that, I take a lot of loans from banks, and I've not been shy to take loans. So I've always gotten, loans that I could not even think I would want to try. Yeah. So with that, now you can imagine taking a loan from a bank, you're paying the bank with interest, and then there's this guy who you've employed who's stealing from you. So you're paying this interest, you're losing money through this other side. So of course, your stock levels will go down. You start borrowing some more. You start just losing everything. That's my business almost went down in 2020.
And this is Samsung.
Yeah, this is you see now with Samsung, I grew from Samsung, and I went out into other things, but they still run by the same HQ, same headquarters. So if this business is suffering, struggling, it automatically
it becomes a chain effect.
It becomes a chain. Yeah. So I'll not say Samsung is not struggling. My franchise is Samsung. I would say everything. I've got a liquor supermarket. It was also struggling because we had just opened it up, and it's like trying to fill. Can you imagine filling a bucket of water from a source that's a bit, from a separate source, but there's a hole in it. So you're pumping it, and you see, you don't know there's a hole. You don't know the hole is there. So you're just wondering like why this bucket isn't filling. Yeah, it's very frustrating.
Look, I understand what building a business is. I've been in it. You've also got your club as well, so to put it, or an establishment, so to put it, a restaurant establishment. And you have to take Peter's money and give it to John, because a business doesn't start itself. You got to find, and then if there's holes, and especially holes that you didn't see, that you filled up the bucket and you come back in the morning, it's empty, and you start filling it up again, and it keeps going, right, until there's no more water to fill in that. I understand. But you've gotten to a place where you were known for philanthropy, and a place where you've built people, content producers, artists and all. What made you do that? Was there a portion of you that said, you know what, I always wanted to be an artist, but I am not or can't be an artist, and decided to fund them?
Okay, the thing is, when I got into this content creation space, not that I'm a content creator, but I hang out with content creators.
Yes,
and
you are.
I love. Am I?
Yeah.
Okay, now that you said it. But what I mean is on that level of, that.
Gotcha. Yeah. I'm also pulling your leg, yeah?
Yeah. You're going to pluck it. I'm pulling it too often. So anyway, I've got many friends who are content creators. By default, I don't know how we just find ourselves in the same space. And I actually love what they do. I love the creativity behind it. I love how someone turns their talent into art that other people enjoy, and then they actually make a living out of it. I love it. And that's what got me that's what gave me the drive to, try and, support where I could. I'm not the biggest supporter.
No, you are.
Not the biggest, no.
You are the biggest supporter, because this is a compliment I'm going to give you from, what I pick up in the streets, because obviously I got to know who SamK is, I like SamK good and well, but you got to know the good, the bad, the ugly.
Thank you.
And what's happening is that when I make a couple calls, hey, I need some, why don't you ask SamK? You're friends with him. He's helped such and such a person. He's going to be the best guy. I'm like, I call somebody else to give me answers. Yo, go back to SamK. It comes back to
really?
you. Yeah, you're the celebrity.
Are you serious? I didn't
You're definitely the celebrity. But I'm trying to figure out what was the formula, because we're not talking about 2-3 people you help. We're talking about 20, 30 people that I know. And it's not like I know Kenya like that. I know a couple of people, but they
First
all...
of all, that figure is a bit exaggerated. It's not 20, 30 people. I've probably worked maybe 10 artists, 10, 12 maximum.
Do you want to name these 10, 12 artists? Because if you're missing one, I'll tell you.
Yeah, I know. First of all, I'm never going to name artists, favorite artist names, because I've been asked that so many interviews. I'm not going to do that.
Now, I'm not
'Cause
asking
always
for your
forget
favorite
that one person.
I'm not asking you for your favorite. I'm asking some of the names. And I mean, if you've left someone out, they can't be mad. And if they're mad, come on, man, grow up. People forget. People forget.
Well, I've worked with let me see. I've worked with Had the Band. I've worked with Mbuzi Gang. I've worked with Major. I've worked with Calligraph. I've worked with who else? I've worked with Bahati, your friend to be.
Now we're friends now, huh?
Yeah.
But Calligraph is my friend.
Yeah, Calligraph is a very good friend. Plus, you knew Calligraph way before I did.
Yeah, 15 years ago.
15?
Yeah.
Wow, yeah, shout out. Yeah, so I've worked with Terrence. I've worked with Jesse, MC. These are comedians.
When you worked with them, what did you do? Because did you have like a management company, a record label, or you just said, hey, man?
Imagine not. I just work as SamK. Yeah. Someone comes, tells me there's this song I've done. I need a video. I'm short on funds. I'm like, I'll do the video for you. How do you want to pay me back? If it works, fine. If it doesn't work, I'm not going to hold it against
move on,
them.
yeah. Okay.
So.
Now, philanthropy. There's people that claim to be philanthropists. Now, let me explain to you how it claims, and this happens with a lot of celebrities. They call themselves philanthropists, but it's a company that is a big company that gives them the money to do the giveaway.
Oh, really?
Right. That's how it works, man. The secret is spilt. This is not one or two celebrities. This is like a lot of them. And you go down through a philanthropy where you take your hard-earned money and give it into charity. Why do you do that?
Well, I don't say I've done that many times. I've done it maybe once, twice, thrice. And for me, I think the one that most people know about is some school fees. I paid school fees for 30 kids. Moshimo Jagwa is a friend of mine. He was an MP in a place called Starehe. So Starehe, of course, has got the people who are struggling in life, hawkers, that kind of thing. So he was the best person to show me who needs this help. And I did that on my birthday as a gift to myself, not to them. Yes, because usually, where the space I'm at, birthdays are celebrated with champagne, spending, traveling, Dubai and stuff. And we had done that a couple of times. But now I wanted to change the narrative. When it comes to birthday, I should be celebrating myself by giving back. So that's what I did.
Let's talk about your dark places.
Uh-huh.
Now, there's no man that does not get to a place where it's dark.
Of course, men get it.
Men
go through it.
Yeah,
more than I think more than women.
No, definitely. It's just that I think, again, it's not an opportunity to talk down to women's bad experiences or what they go through. But definitely, men go far more in dark places.
But you see, if you spoke to the woman right now, this would be a heated argument because women they'll be like, we're the ones who give birth, we're the ones who suckle the kids. You guys go out there and party and leave us with the kids. So they'll argue differently. The
bad news, is that women wear victimhood like a chain, like a gold chain. So it is somewhat in their nature to want to be victims because it gives them power. So sadly, when a man does that, it doesn't give you power. It's shame. So
shame, yeah.
Say if you like, I went through this, I'm like, look at you. A woman is like, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry that, So this is why women, try to own that pittiness. But I'm trying to get to you where I'm like, okay, what were the shame that you went through? What was the human dignity of yours that was removed and you were in a dark place? Take me through that.
I think, first of all, and this affects a lot of men, the issue of separation. I know you're also separated, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. Separation twice, yeah, especially twice. It's crazy. Separation and divorce has gotten many men to go down that depression road, And lucky for me, I didn't find myself there because I am separated. I got separated in 2015, tried to work it out in 2018, and I pushed another 3 years with this person, and it didn't work. So we were like, okay, fine. Now this time we're not separating, we're divorcing. You got to sign the documents, legal. And at some point you think it's your fault. You're like, would I have done things better? Now you're looking at your kids. I've got 3 kids from that marriage. And I'm like, it's my fault that these kids are not gonna, grow up with both parents in the same house. It eats you inside. It does. Yeah.
When it ate you, like what did it feel like? Let me give you like a picture. There's moments where I felt that, look, man, I shouldn't have done A, B, C, D, or I could have been smarter about the situation. It is my fault. And now I look at myself in the mirror. I'm like, I don't know this guy. And I'm like, I would love to go to a hole that nobody sees me ever again. You know, sometimes I had one or two times suicidal thoughts, right? I was not very big on that, but there were moments where I'm like, nah, that's not me. What's happening? You know, then I kind of got out of it and all. And I hid myself from a lot of
That's
people.
deep.
Yeah,
The
it
minute you
is
start
deep.
thinking of suicide, bro.
Yeah,
That's
you
deep.
down the rabbit hole.
You down in there.
What about you? How deep were you? Like, how did you feel? Did food taste the same? You know, did air smell different?
I like that. Yeah, food did taste the same for me. But let me see, I'm just trying to remember because this is in 2015, the first time it happened. I think at the time it didn't move me much, to be very honest, because I thought, I'm young, my business is picking, I'm making some money, to hell with the wife, you know? And I didn't think what to do to the kids. I didn't think but I mean, she also had her share of nonsense. So I'm not saying it was all on me. But at the time, I didn't think much of it. I was like, whatever, effort. So later is when now it hit me that, hey, come on, no, life is happening. Yeah, you brought these 3 kids into this world. Now you're messing their future. You're messing their upbringing. And another thing is, you see, when you're in a relationship and you're partly to blame, it eats you up. And you want to do better in your next relationship, right? Obviously. So if you get into another relationship and it doesn't work, now you're like, fuck, I'm the bad person.
It feels like a what do they call this thing? A routine, a pattern.
Yes.
And that's not a good feeling. Okay.
How do you feel about your 2 separations?
You asking me who's interviewing who here?
No, please tell me about that. I really want to know. Because you're always so well put together. You articulate, you say it. So we want to hear it.
I had something you had. Actually, 2 things. I had a really, really, really good father. He would whip my ass. He would land a beating, and that brought a lot of character into me, like a lot of character. He taught me the right from wrong. So I was lucky from that onset. So,
but I thought it's illegal in South Africa to hit a kid.
At that time, it wasn't illegal. It just became legal now, right? But that time, he would land an ass whipping. He wasn't shy about it.
And how bad would he beat you?
A whipping, man. Like there's no limit.
With his hand or with?
No, he'd use belts. Just mainly belts.
Belts.
But then my dad had this special belts, like crocodile belts, and he'd like, go fetch my belt.
You know which one?
Yeah, and I'd fetch someone that's like, bro, don't make me go upstairs and fetch it myself.
Don't pretend you don't know which belt.
Go fetch my belt. But he taught me right from wrong, and it was very, very stern. My dad did a lot of work, and I could talk about that forever. But then what happened later in life, I saw those lessons coming. I had grit. I had strength. So even though I was broken as a man, like I was torn into pieces, I looked at him because he was married more than once too.
Oh,
Funny
really?
enough, he got married 3 times. So my mom is his
Wait,
third
at the
wife.
same time or?
Yeah, no, different times.
Different times.
Different times. Yeah, I don't think he was that kind of guy. And his third marriage is now 40 years old. All right? And the first 2 didn't work out. And I had to remember, hey, man, Galson, you're not special. People go through these things. So my dad, taught me these things. So I had to piece myself together. So, yeah, I definitely was broken. There was no doubt about it. I mean, I don't think we met at the time where it bled all over the internet.
Yeah, so wait, sorry to ask. So your mom was a third? Or
Yeah.
Your mom was a third?
Third.
Good. And they're still together?
Oh, yeah. Those 2 love each other, man.
God bless that, man. I saw him the other day on video.
Yeah, we did a vid. Yeah.
I love your relationship.
Right. So what it did for me is that I knew that it did break me. There's a part of my heart that's cracked that although I could say I've healed, but there's portions that can never heal.
And this also means that your dad did not judge you.
He didn't.
He didn't.
He understood.
He understood.
He really understood. And that was the most comforting thing. Also, another thing that I had was really good friends. I had amazing friends and structural support. So that's what made, my life a lot better. I remember a couple celebrities because to some degree, I'm a SamK in South Africa. A couple celebrities called me. It's like, yo, man, is there anything we could do? And I'm like, surprised you calling me? You haven't called me for 2 years. It's like, yo, we saw what happened on the internet. So I was lucky in that regard, And the most important one was grit. You've got grit, and I got that grit. So it kept me going. It kept me going, having
that
faith.
drive, you always need to have it. Keep the driving.
Keep the drive, yeah. But this internet is not about me. It's about you. All right, let's go back to you.
Sleep.
So you're in those low moments. And how did you come out? Because now you found love again, but how did you come out?
My business. And as you're saying, I've got good friends. I've got a good family, especially my siblings. We're quite close. We talk all the time. And my parents also did not judge me. They're like, okay, this has happened. Let's move on. But primarily what kept me driving was my business. Because at the time is when my business was growing and growing. And you see, you love and you enjoy when you're making money and you're seeing growth. So at least it moves your mind
Gotcha.
from that.
For me, it was the opposite. The divorces,
he was
like sunk me down.
And that's what happens to most men.
Yeah. It sunk
They
me
say
down
when
to a
it rains,
degree.
it pours. That's what they mean.
Yeah. Okay, now you found love again. How did it feel? Because at that point, you don't want to trust. You cannot love like you used to. You don't want to find yourself in a vulnerable place again. How was it finding love again? Because I met your wife.
Yes.
And I like your wife.
Thank you.
How was it like finding love again?
Now, the truth is that she was there when my marriage was crumbling. Like, I didn't find someone new. This is someone that I had been with all through, the unstable marriage. So it was easy, very swift transition. Yeah.
So when you say it's been there, what do you mean?
She was my friend. Then later on, of course, we got into a relationship.
A relationship while being in a marriage?
While the marriage is crumbling.
While the marriage is
crumbling.
Don't
make me look bad.
Look, I'll tell you this much. I don't know how much people knows that my second wife graduated from my first wife.
I know.
So I mean, that was my fair share of mistakes. It was a stupid decision, but it is.
Meaning you're with your second wife during your first wife.
Yeah. So
during her time.
So both sides was infidelity, but on my side, speaking on my side, she was the person I was having infidelity with, and so she graduated. And no, look at me now. Right. I wish that on no man, because I think I did it more of a stupid way. And then on your end, was that the case?
Kind of. It was kind of the case because, as I'm saying, I did not find someone new. She was there. So, and if she was there, then that means she was there during the first one.
But it's so good because y'all lasted this long and y'all keep going strong, right? I understand what it's like, when a home breaks apart. Because currently, while I'm in Kenya, I'm living in one of your houses, right? It's a beautiful house. I love there. I'm there by myself in this 4 or 5 bedroom house, just sitting there by myself. And you're living with your family in a different place.
I kind of feel guilty that I'm not there with you, but anyway.
No, don't feel guilty. Don't feel guilty. I'm fine just by myself. I mean, I live by myself where I am. I'm pretty much used to it.
And you enjoy your alone time, right?
I do. So what was it like? Like, you know what? This is a beautiful house and I'm going to have to move out of it.
Yeah, that moved me quite a bit because I'd lived in that house for 7-8 years. And then, you used to coming home and there's noise, kids are playing. I mean, there's a
smelling of food. Yeah.
Smell of food. There's a trampoline outside, kids are jumping on it. Now imagine coming home, seeing that the trampoline is even dusty and there's leaves on it, because nobody's using it. It can't do, you feel bad. You feel very bad.
So I'm glad you found love again. But now let's talk about something a little bit more sensitive. But the reason why that we have to be careful of the discussion is because we don't want it to cause unnecessary legal trouble. Right? But we got to talk about it to some degree. One of your children, not to specify, found himself in a situation where dad was unhappy with the son. To a degree, it seems like you fathered your son the way your father fathered you. And it happens that there was disagreements of how that was handled. How do you feel? Do you feel that you now have to limit the way you parent your child because of how society has shifted? Or do you feel like, hey, look, it worked with me. I want my son to be as successful as I am and even more. I will instill the knowledge from my father. Which one was it?
Bro, I go with spare the rod, spoil the child. I will never shy off from disciplining my kids. In this particular instance, although I'm not even allowed to talk about it, but let me just brush to it very fast. Because actually, when I went to court and I got a gag order, you know what a gag order means? I cannot talk about it in public. So I just say, I do not spare the rod. Yes, because I believe I am who I am because of how my father disciplined me. Had he let me go astray, I would not be here seated with, the great Carl Antonio.
So let's talk about this from a either biblical or moral standpoint. So it says depending on the translation, it says, if you hold back the rod, you hate your child. It uses the word hate your child.
Yes, it means you don't want the best for this child.
Right. But it's crazy because, you're inflicting pain on somebody. And God says, well, I wouldn't say God, I'll say the Bible says, for the sake of those is going to make it a whole religious argument. It's like you hate your child. Do you feel that you hated your child, or do you feel like you loved your child? And why?
I feel like I love my child. I've always loved all my children. And I believe, as I'm saying, it's like a tree. Look at it like a tree. Yeah? You want the tree to grow up straight. So you've got to do a few things. You've got to prune, leaves that are going astray, you cut them off. So you can't sit and say, oh, I don't cut off the leaves because the tree either is going to feel pain or whatever it is. You cut off what you need to cut off for the tree to stand tall.
What about the society that's at large now that says they call these stuff abuse? So I want to challenge you. It's like, did you not abuse your child by doing that?
Well, I think the term abuse is relative, because for me, it depends on how is it coming from a good place. Are you hitting them because you hate them? No. You're hitting them because you want them to grow straight. And if you don't, then they will realize that whatever I do, I don't get punished. So I can do whatever I want to do. For example, that particular incident, my son didn't want to go to school, and he actually took off from school.
I think because of your gag order.
Yeah,
let's not go into that particular situation, because the G2G podcast goes deep. However, you're my dear friend, but I'm supposed to challenge you. Now, I just want to look at the situation. Do you feel that your son is paying back to you how much trouble you gave to your father?
No, not really. Not really. I think it's just normal. It's normal growing up, because I'm not saying my situation is not unique in any way. So was yours. You also got a whooping, and you live all the way in South Africa. So it's a thing that it just comes with growing up.
Unfortunately, I can't land whippings because I'll land up in jail, But
no, things have changed.
So this is why I'm trying to ask you, is that given the society change now, do you not think you need to adapt according to the society, or do you feel it's a risk of losing your child astray?
What I think, for these laws to be passed, it means they make some kind of sense. Like, don't whoop your child physically, maybe talk to them, counsel them. And whooping is an old school thing. There's so many things that have changed from old school. So many things we do differently, which have better results. So I think it could be one of them. But I'm still stuck in the old school method.
And again, coming down to my question, do you think because you're stuck, is it now your son's fault that you're stuck? Can't your son just go about living the new age life and just move on?
It is not his fault in any way, of course. Neither is it mine. It's not his fault. Yeah, it's just what it is.
From my standpoint as a dad of two boys, you've got boys as well. Raising a son is literally raising an extension of you. How you see yourself being great all week is how you're going to raise your child. I see you as a great man, and I see that's what you're trying to do for your son, right? So I'm not mad at you at that, but given the situation, I can't go deeper into it.
Yeah.
Let's take ourselves to a more positive place. SamK, the philanthropist, the guy that's built careers, the guy that's got good relationships with anybody and everybody. What is the next moves?
As much as it's open, as much as it's open to God to draw my path, I'm willing to do anything. Anything that will be thrown at me, I'm willing to take it and run with it. Yeah. Right now, I don't have a particular plan. I'm just building and growing as I move. And the other day we were having a discussion about growing old, and I was telling you, I'm very afraid of age.
Why are you afraid of aging?
I don't be seated, like in a place you can't move, you can't run, you can't party with your friends, like you're just contained. I don't like that. The idea of it scares me.
It scares you. Look, growing older is beautiful. Knowing that I've got parents that are, in the 70s, and my grandma is 107 and she's still alive. 107.
Wow.
And she's still alive.
This is your dad's mom?
My dad's mom, yeah. She had my dad like when she was pretty old, and she walks. Not fine, but she walks. It's a beautiful thing. I can't wait to be a grandfather.
But now see, I'm sure her husband, your grandfather, is not there.
No, but he died many, many years ago. Like, he died at the age 75 because he was poisoned.
Oh, sorry about that.
No, it's no big thing. In our family, we don't shy away from death. We understand it's a natural process.
Okay, let's even put your grandfather aside. Your grandmother at 107. How many friends does she have?
Lots.
How?
She's got
her
lots.
Age, her peers?
Yeah.
There's no way.
I'm
There's
being
no
serious. I mean, I think sometime early last year, she lost her younger sister at 97. Yeah, 97, somewhere around there. And the one before that was a couple years ago at 99. And they
Oh,
all
you guys
have,
are blessed, man.
yeah, we are blessed.
You
I'm a
know, they
Kamba.
say
I
it-
told you, man.
Yeah, your Kamba is where, and you keep proving it every other time.
Yeah. And so all her friends of her age of that time, even though they're going one by one, she still has them.
Let me ask you right now, what do you think our life expectancy is?
107
No,
for me.
you guys are just lucky. I think right now it's come down to like 80.
Yeah.
So for right now, if you're above 80 and you're not fighting any, illnesses and diseases and stuff, you're super lucky. I don't know if it's in the environment or what we're eating
It's
or
the
what,
food we
but
eat.
yeah,
Remember, we drink more alcohol than anybody else
True.
before. We have more medicines that we're intaking, and these medicines are not good for
and
us.
eating processed foods.
Processed food, even the
junk
air
food.
is poisoned or pollution. There's so many things that is aging the process. Hell, our kids.
right now.
Look,
you know how
when we
much
drink
sugar is
it,
in there?
What's the name of the product? No, don't say it.
We're
Don't
not
say that. I was trying to trap you.
Uh-huh.
But I didn't come to find a perfect man. I came to find a fallible man like myself. There's so many stories of our life where we actually cross paths. I didn't know that even in an individual level, you had a good dad that was behind you, handed whippings. We find that out today.
Yeah.
I didn't know that, your divorce was something similar to mine. So you know the pain, I didn't know, and you're going to know this now, is that I moved out of houses as well. From the first wife and second wife, I had to look at it. Well, unfortunately, on my side, I didn't have those houses any longer. So there's so many things that are quite similar, and I'm finding them out here, right? I guess it's that law of attraction, where it's like, two people of similar are there. But as fallible as you are, and you've given a lot of people a lot of things, in my culture, when we give gifts, you mentioned something about birthdays and there's, popping bottles and all. When we give gifts, we don't go to a store and say, hey, we bought this, here it is for you. Unless that person specifically requested that, then we go to a store and we buy it. So I've got 2 gifts for you. Mozzarella bottles made it to Nairobi. So they've been displayed here this whole time, and they're the only bottles ever to come to East Africa. These 2, I'd like you to please take them, put them as display. I know you've got a whole liquor house where you've got all the alcohol you
But
need.
it does not have sorrel in it. But now, I'll keep this in my office.
You'll keep that in your office.
This is personal.
Please do,
Thank
my
you,
brother.
man.
Please do.
I love it. Am I allowed to open it right now? on
You
this
may open
podcast?
it.
For real?
Yeah. Let somebody go get some ice. But while we doing that, go get some ice. We're gonna have a chat while I still finish up the other thing.
And what's the difference between the two? Because I like the shape of the bottle, and it's very similar, but this one is rounded and this is...
So this is more feminine. This is more masculine.
Let's go with this.
Let's go with this one, right? And then we'll open that. But on the other side, brother, there's also another gift I want to give you. About 10 years ago, I bought a couple of watches. And a few years later, I lost a lot of them due to, let me not specify the reasons. And in all that, I kept a few and maybe even lost some because, I was like, it's better off I sell them and, make some money. The current one I'm wearing means a lot to me.
I've been looking at it.
And this watch, its value will always stay the same.
Yeah.
It will never go down.
Never depreciates.
Will never depreciate. So, my brother, I'd like to give you this piece.
No, you can't be serious, bro.
I'd give
You've
you
had
this
this watch
piece.
for 10 years.
Yep. I'd like to give it to you as mine to you.
Can I humbly bow out of this gift?
You may not. It
For
is
real?
offensive to me
Oh my
to not
God.
receive this gift.
I won't pretend it's not my type of watch. I love it. Also, I love the color. I love everything about it. Look how similar they are.
Yeah.
And I've also had this this was another gift. I don't know. I keep attracting watches.
Your watches. There you go.
This was given to me by my spouse's brother. But anyway, wow.
You can have that one. When you come to South Africa to visit me, I'll give you the boxes. I'll give you everything.
I don't think it comes with a certificate or something, does it?
It should.
This is big. Cheers, brother. Thank you so much.
From brother to brother.
This is deep.
Whenever you wear it, remember me.
I'm gonna wear it from now on in these podcasts.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It has everything I like. I love the color inside. This brown.
The brown, yeah.
Then the mix with the gold.
Right. It blends pretty good.
Perfect.
So this is from me to you, my brother.
How about the exchange?
No.
This
You
one. This
can't
was a
do
gift,
that.
so
You can't do that. This is not allowed.
I'll get you something else.
It's a different day. You got to give me a gift,
Okay,
right?
cool,
Not
cool.
today.
Cool.
But
Thank you.
as we're doing that, let's get the glasses. Where the glasses at?
Let me get the business.
All right, we can.
There are no glasses, so how do you get them on dishes?
You have to get in the office.
They have a kitchenette here. They have a kitchenette. Oh, no, okay.
Well, the one we're going to open now is Sorelle Forte, which means strong. And that's Natare, which means nectar.
And you mentioned this is a feminine one.
Yeah, that's more feminine, right? So this is a sweet taste. It's more on the sweet side. Did you just like that?
Yeah, I love that. That sound.
Let's start with your glass over there.
Yeah. You first taste it.
And then this, hang on.
It smells nice.
Smells good, huh?
Very. Smells fresh. Spicy.
Blueberries and honey, natural ingredient. You're going to enjoy this. So our little toast should be to more health, more years without getting old, right?
And more wealth.
Wealth comes last.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
More connections with the family. More connections with family. Growth. And so much more. And including wealth.
Cheers.
Cheers to that.
Sweet. Oh,
You weren't ready.
can you feel the heat? I'm using ice cubes, but I'm feeling hot.
You feeling hot?
Yeah, I love it.
I'm glad you
I
do.
swear I love
I'm
it.
glad you do. So please have them on your display. This is my gift to you. The next time,
I'm so afraid of finishing it. Like, where will I get another bottle? Are you shipping?
of course, I'm
some
gonna
to-
ship some to you.
Yeah?
You know, the past, I think since January, I gave away 300 bottles.
Bro, we need to stop this at the cows.
Yeah, it needs to come.
We need to
Let's
stop.
legalize it and then stock it at the legal
Oh,
house.
yeah. Deadly, huh? Moving on swiftly.
So
Tell you.
to close us off, G2G is an encouraging podcast. It tries to bridge African countries together. Most countries don't know much about each other, like South Africa knows nothing about Kenya. So you're going to help me be a bridge, culturally, business, economically, mentally, you name it all. At the end of the day, we're all African, we're all men or women, and we're all one. So
There's something. Yeah, no. Keep it. Finish.
I'm finished.
I was saying, we mentioned that men pass through a lot. Like, men encounter a lot. And right now, about a week ago or two, I did a short video just discussing that. It was our mental health awareness for men. And I posted it, and it got so much traction. And Carol and Mtoko picked it up, or Bina picked it up. Who else picked it up? Burale picked it up. And I would like us to talk a bit about that. Like, what do you think? How do you think we can assist this situation? Guys are going through shit. Guys don't have a place to vocalize it. Guys don't know what to do, so they end up either getting into drunkenness, addictions, and that only sinks people deeper. Like, I feel like we need to create a space where guys can just come and release and talk about it and that kind of thing.
Galson, I'm going through a lot. We probably are going through a lot. Do you have a moment to talk? Don't have the mentalities that Galson probably don't care about my thing. Give me moments like, look, I just want to talk. Hear me out.
I think even before it gets to that point, this guy is going through whatever he's going through. Doesn't want people to know. He's already shielding it from people and wearing a fake smile, which is eating him up some more.
That's what I'm speaking about, is that we men tend to have a certain pride, because I don't want you to see me as weak. Why be seen as weak? Go to good friends and say, look, I'm in a place where I'm weak. I don't want my thoughts to have the best of me. I don't know what to do. My thoughts have surrendered itself into a darkness. I'm not asking you to help me out. I'm saying hold my hand. I don't want to sink. Just hold my hand.
And it's usually worse for people in high places in society. Celebrities, public figures, you name it. Because when they're going through that, and Caroline, I don't know if she's going to watch this. I hope she does. I'll send it to her. But she put it very well, that people in certain, level in society, men are known to be, you're expected to be a provider, a protector.
In an equal society.
Yes. Now she added an extra P. People in that level are expected to be perfect, which means you don't want to show your scars. You don't want to show your weaknesses. So it eats you up some more. And that's, we really need a place that guys
Let me ask it like this, brother. What is eating you up? And if there is something, talk to me right here.
Right now, nothing is eating me up particularly. I'm not perfect, but I know I probably have what? Right now, imagine nothing. Yeah. I'm at a point where I believe I should be of assistance to people who are going through something, because my time will come, definitely. But right now I'm at a comfortable space.
No, you've been assisting people. That's without a doubt and say. But if mental health amongst men is worrying you so much, what is our next step? My step is saying, look, make the call. Make the call. If you feel like he's not listening, make another call. Don't get to a place where you isolate yourself. The same book where it says that he doesn't use the rod spoils his child says, whoever isolates himself is stupid. The Bible's very strict about that. It says, he that isolates himself has his own thoughts and is foolish. 18 verse 1 of Proverb. It's almost verbatim. Anyone could guess. So don't isolate yourself, because that's where the trap begins. That's when your thoughts run away. Galston, I'm going through a lot. I ain't asking you to change my life. I'm just asking you to hear me out. And that's all we need sometimes. So what's your take on that?
So we had this discussion with Obina. Obina is a very big blogger, YouTuber. Same with your friend Burale. And we decided we we're going to have a roundtable discussion, pick at least 3, 4, 5 men and talk about it. So whoever gets whatever they get from it, I hope it helps them in a way.
When is it happening?
Very soon. We haven't placed definitely a date on it, but it's something that we're doing and we have to
Let it happen before I leave.
Oh, bro, you leave on Saturday. It's too soon.
No, I leave on Monday, actually.
On Monday?
Yeah.
Okay, then we can. Monday, what time?
I need to be at the airport hey, I can't tell you what time I'll be at the airport before some people try to find me at the airport on Monday. But by the time this podcast come out, I would have been long gone. Right, but I do leave in the early afternoons.
Okay, I'll make sure I update you. Whatever time we set, you've got to be there.
Gotcha.
You,
I'm definitely
Big Ted, Burale, myself, and any other person that will think.
See, already you're talking about men that come from harsh experiences and they want to talk about it. Let's do this.
Please.
Now, can I close? You still want to talk about some things?
No, I'm good.
You sure?
Yeah, 100%.
All right. Brother, I'm so happy that you came. I'm so happy that you came. I'm so happy that you hosted me. Thank you for everything that you've done. Having uncomfortable conversations is what I believe builds people. Without the uncomfortable conversation, you don't really know the character, right? You lying to that person if you don't have the real talk. So it's best that you have that tough talk. Sometimes it has, I don't know this dude, if I should trust him, but it's important to have that. Thank you for that opportunity. All right. Now, to close it up, like, comment, subscribe. On your comment section, be respectful. Ain't nobody perfect here. I know for sure and damn well that I'm not perfect, and I've spoken to no perfect person. I've spoken to celebrities, mega celebrities, presidents of countries and political parties on this podcast, and not a single one came close to perfection. So don't be that person that thinks they're perfect and start throwing daggers over here. Be respectful. Let's grow as a people. Now, considering he's from Kenya, I live in South Africa, we're trying to bridge the gap, not destroy it even further. So, respectfully like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, it's peace out.
Best to ever do it.
The best to ever do it.